Hello everybody, welcome back to Steph's Movies and Music. I am of course your host, Steph. Today we are going to be talking about Avril Lavigne. We're going to be talking about her St. Louis concert. I got a very good seat. I came with two of my friends. We're going to be talking about the set list, of course. And of course, just how good she sounded and how she looked. We're also going to be talking a little bit about one of her openers. She had two openers, We the Kingdom and Simple Plan. We're going to be talking about Simple Plan a little bit. Not a whole lot. Now, I want to start with how she sounded. I feel like that's probably the most important part that most people want to hear. But before I do that, I just want to say that I'm not like the biggest Avril Lavigne fan. It's not that I don't like her. If I didn't like her, then I wouldn't have went to her concert. Don't get me wrong, I like her, and I like her really big songs like Complicated. And, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Skater Boy, but it's okay. And, you know, Girlfriend and What the Hell. What the Hell and Complicated are probably my favorite ones by her. Avril Lavigne is really good. She's really talented. Her voice is held up very, very, very well. It's worth noting that she's only about 41 or so she's really not that old. That said, I thought that her voice would be a little bit less high-pitched than it was when she was, say, 17, when her first album came out. I actually have a copy of it right here. This is her first album called Let Go. I believe this is a 7 times platinum selling album. Had a lot of hits on there. But yeah, I thought that, you know, with age, her voice would get a little bit lower. Just a little bit. Not a whole lot. But honestly, it's just as high-pitched as she was when she was 17. Maybe even higher pitched. I don't know. I don't know if she's using AI or anything. I guess it's a possibility, but I have no reason to believe that she is. So take that. I don't know if that's worth your grain of salt or not, but take that for what it's worth. And I had a very close seat. You'll be seeing footage from the concert later on when we talk about the set list, which will be momentarily. I guess I will say that the stage presentation was really, really, really cool too. And you'll see that in some of the footage that I will show you later on as well. Fire, sparks, lighting, confetti. I actually got a lot of confetti from the show. Right here, we got some pink and black and some black and orange. My little cousin was actually at the show too, so I'm actually going to give her one of these bunches of confetti. I also got some regular white confetti from when Simple Plan was on stage. And they did a pretty good performance too. They sounded, you know, once again, they're not really my thing. They definitely sounded adequate. They sounded like they did. Once again, I don't really listen to Simple Plan, so I'm not exactly sure how they sounded on their records. I have no complaints, so there's that. Another cool thing is this is the greatest hits tour for Avril Lavigne, so she plays all of her big hits. And what's cool about her taking Simple Plan on tour with her is they actually wrote a song together called Young and Dumb, which they actually ended up performing together at the show. And not only that, but Simple Plan actually went out on tour with Avril Lavigne for like her first big arena tour, like in 2003. So it's kind of cool that she's kind of come full circle with it and decided to bring Simple Plan back out to kind of celebrate her career so far, you know. I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, let's not waste any more time. Let's start talking about the set list. She came right out and started singing banger after banger. She started with Girlfriend. Then she moved right on to What the Hell, which once again is one of my favorites. And then my other favorite, of course, is Complicated. And then she played Here's to Never Growing Up. Then she played a shortened version of Rock and Roll. And then she played My Happy Ending. Played a song called He Wasn't, I think. And then she played another song that I actually don't know the name of. It's actually not what what I have on this set list right here. For the most part, this set list is all accurate for all the dates that she's performed so far, except for like kind of in like the middle of the set list, she swaps out a couple with other like deeper tracks. But for number 9, she played a song called Keep Holding On, and that was just a shortened version of it once again. Then she played technically a cover, but I didn't know she actually wrote this song called Breakaway, which of course Kelly Clarkson turned into a big ginormous hit. She even talked about it too, about how she was 16 and she wrote the song, and she didn't end up recording it, but she gave it to Kelly Clarkson and it became a big hit for her. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't know that she wrote that. And then she performed Don't Tell Me. And then she played that Young and Dumb song that I was referring to earlier. And then she played a song called Bite Me. And then another song called Love It When You Hate Me. And then of course she played Skater Boy. And then they took an encore break, and then they came right back with Head Above Water. And then according to this set list, they were supposed to actually sing a song called When You're Gone, which I believe is also another pretty big hit by her. I don't know if they just ended up spending too much time on other songs, and then they ended up cutting it just as time went by, or if they just never planned on singing it for the St. Louis concert from the get-go. I don't know. I really don't know, but they didn't end up playing it, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. But then they ended with I'm With You. So as far as the set list goes, I actually really don't have a complaint, really. Once again, I'm a very, very casual fan of Avril Lavigne. So, you know, it's not like I listen to her stuff all the time. So, it's, you know, I didn't really have an expectation for her to play any certain songs except for all of her big hits. Once again, they didn't play When You're Gone, which I'm pretty sure is a top 40 hit. So I guess they didn't play every top 40 hit, but for the most part, they got all the heavy hitters out of the way. And everybody around me was very happy with the show. My friends were very happy as well. So yeah, I really don't have any complaints. Other than, you know what, I mentioned how high-pitched her voice was earlier. It was almost too high-pitched for me. In fact, I think it kind of was a little too high-pitched for me. In fact, the next day I had a huge migraine. And I don't know if it was because I really didn't sleep all that well the night before, or if it was because I was getting over the high-pitched voice that I was hearing all night the night before. So I'm not sure. So here comes the question that we always have here at the end of the concert review, and I always try to answer it. Would I recommend going to see this person? In this case, Avril Lavigne. You know what? If you're a fan of Avril Lavigne, yes, you're not going to be disappointed. And I could say that very confidently. Avril Lavigne, yeah, I would recommend seeing to anybody who is, of course, already a fan of hers, or even just people that like, you know, the early 2000s alternative pop kind of sound. I don't know. What do you call it? I guess she's just pop, really, but she had some rock elements, so it was kind of, I don't know, alternative. I don't know, she got kind of edgy at times, so I feel like, you know, alternative pop is kind of a accurate way to describe Avril Lavigne. I don't know, comment down below, what do you think? But yeah, I would totally recommend seeing her if you're into that sort of music, of course. So shout out to my friend Lizzie and her sister Patty. We had a great time, and yeah. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was pretty quick. I usually don't go this quick for a concert review, but I guess this was pretty quick and painless then. I guess I didn't have anything bad to say, and so it was pretty straightforward. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, of course. And also there are super chats that you could do. I'd really appreciate it if you could do that, but most importantly, watching the videos is the most awesome thing that you could really do. Thank you guys for doing that. And yeah, see you guys later. Steph signing off.